Hello, if you're there, I am live and unmuted, and let me just click on that. Okay, so I'll just wait here, hang fire until somebody else comes in, and maybe we can talk then. So it's, notice that there's a different sort of ambience today. Yes, okay, so what are we doing? Tum-ti-tum, I see other YouTubers doing this kind of thing, just waiting around for somebody to actually show their face. So, yeah, so that's why, if you're watching this after the fact, I'm talking like this. It's because I'm waiting for a few people who usually show up to come in. So, and then I can explain myself. Here we are, not in the McSherryStudio today, but actually in a room in my house. I'll explain now in a minute. It is 32 minutes past 6. It's going to be a quick one today. So it doesn't look like I've got anyone just yet. So we shall wait. I wonder what the sound is like, and I wonder what the image is like. It's quite sort of uncrisp to me today. So is that? Yeah, that's not helping. Is that's better, isn't it? Okay, that's better. Okay, that's going to improve things. So I'm waiting here, tum-ti-tum, and then hopefully somebody will come in and I'll talk to you. 6:30 on a Thursday evening. It was a lovely evening actually. A busy day. The class this morning, and I was all prepared to do my podcast when the electricity has gone in my studio, so it's in darkness. Can't find a single thing. I had to reef the computer out in order to bring it up into my bedroom here, which is one of the places that has an ISDN, what do they call it? A cable anyway, a wire into the internet. ISDNs are a thing of the long distant past, aren't they? So look, I'll get on with things. So today I can't do a painting because I'm not in my studio, and I'm using my wife's desk where she usually does her teaching, and I've had to set up things. Oh, hello, there's a couple of people. Thanks, Bitty God, you've arrived. Hang on, let me get the chats open, have a look. Hello Miles, how are you doing? You keeping well? So there's you and another bod at the moment. The electricity's gone in my studio, so I can't really do anything, and I'm sitting at a tiny desk that's usually only sort of meant for teaching French. So there's no room to paint or anything. So what I'm going to have to do, I hope you don't mind, is just go through another sketchbook, because there's nothing else for it. So it'll be a reasonably quick one. I'll just try and explain what I might have been thinking at the time. Yeah, it's good, but very busy, just trying to get myself prepared for a couple of quite tough projects that I've got coming up in March. So today I was buying material, sitting there online buying material. You might notice this. Oh, where is it? Sorry, this thing here. I nearly shaved my face off day before yesterday in a rush, and I use those double-edged razors, you know, the old-fashioned one that maybe your dad may have used, and I hadn't noticed it. It comes slightly undone. Once that happens, as you know, the blade starts to rattle around a bit, and it caught me. Yeah, so that bled for a bit. Anyway, so that's how I am. Things like that. So look, I may as well get on with it, since there's a couple of you there. It's fine. I'll go ahead with it. What I'm going to do is just go through this little sketchbook, and that is, what was it? Doesn't have a date on it. And I haven't seen a date. 2009. So around about then. So it would have taken me a good while to go through the bits that I did. So I'll put it here and begin, I suppose. Let's have a look. Can I? Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's the way to do it. Since it's a square sketchbook anyway, we can sort of look at that. I always put an if found message in my sketchbooks, just to because I don't like losing them. If I leave it in a cafe somewhere, I like to get them back. And somebody did, in fact, post one back to me one time years ago. So that was a self-portrait. Now I know. Just look at the two of us over there, and this face. Not exactly the same, but I wasn't looking in the mirror. I drew what I felt like. And I kind of seem to remind myself, if you're from Irish, of Jerry Ryan, who passed away several years ago, but he had put on quite a big amount of weight before he passed away. It wasn't just food, I think. Anyway, but so let's have a look here. Not quite sure what was going on here. For the hairstyle or something on that little Tweety bird. Football player. This is all done in very soft pencil. I tend to use between 4B and 8B pencils, so they're very soft, and to get a nice black line. I like using them, and they do tend to offset when you close sketchbooks. They offset onto the page just beside them. When I was at school, I had a penchant for drawing soldiers all the time, and I seem to have sort of started up here again, some war story or whatever. I used to read all those magazines, you know, that children's books. What was it, Victor and things like that. Maybe you're old enough to remember them. It's good quality paper in this sketchbook. Sea white. Sea white is there. You can see the little. Hang on. The logo is there. Not quite sure what it is. Like a rooster or something. I think that is a self-portrait too, with me drawing. But I can't imagine how there may have been a mirror in front of me. Maybe there was. Too long ago, I can't remember. On one full winding. That's a little sketch in gouache. Gouache is very nice. It should use gouache sometimes. You can how to say, reanimate the paint with water afterwards, so you can do blending and things like that. And it's very flat, very dry looking, and really good to scan. 5th of August 09. Okay, what was I doing then? I suppose I may still have been illustrating in those days. Not much though. What else we've got here? Just nonsense. A blue-faced man. Clown. I think I may have been drawing a face a day or something, just making them up. Let me see, that's her. These doll-like figures. So I've just put a note in here, a good mix for warm skin, like flushed cheeks, lips, etc., is magenta and yellow ochre. I can safely say that I haven't done that since, but I might go back to it and have a look, see how it works. What does that say? What does that say? Dandling. A dandling machine. Oh, it's kind of like a little play on the implements that used to be made in Wexford by Pierce's. I don't know, it's kind of like a machine for dandling a child or something. Practicing a bit of skies. Very interesting. Messing around with gouache again. Does good eyes, gouache. Is that focusing properly? Let's have a look. Yeah. It's nice to do things like that. Very good for illustration, gouache. Oh, Captain Nolan and Ivor, how are you doing? And Captain, you're right. Let me just put that on. There you go. That's what Captain Nolan says. And I think Captain Nolan is absolutely right. Okay. And thank you. Yeah, because I always forget to say these things. So that's, I don't know, I mean, it isn't a particular person. And I think I may have been on holiday because it's around August time. That's a man who's dressed up in a suit of lettuce or something. It doesn't matter what you draw, how ridiculous it can be. That, in fact, I think was a figure that was going to go into an illustration for the Sunday Tribune, which ceased to be, actually, in the meantime. I'm not quite sure what it was, some kind of gold, what do they call them? Gold panner or whatever, in the Klondike. It was the basis of the illustration. That may have been 2. Not quite sure what that was. I do like using gouache. Here, some more line drawings with a fine liner. Doesn't seem to be too focused, but let's see if I bring it up. Silly fish. There's another silly fish there. And yet another silly fish, only this time in gouache. And the colours are great. The colours are very dense. That's my brother-in-law. He's very tall. Ah, here we go. What's going on in here? Yeah. Just a page of doodles. It's a great way to pass the time. I can't imagine what I must have been thinking then. How the hell do they make the caps? Sometimes my children would get a hold of my books as well and draw their pictures. That they haven't so far in this one. December 2009, a still life of an orange. A face, quite ghostly looking face, and just shades of green, grey-green. It's a chap I know in France. December. I just did that in a kind of sepia tones. Now this did get used in an illustration. In fact, for Coca-Cola. Hang on, let me just move that down. Have I got enough battery left? Seems to have gone very dark. Hide on stream. Oh right, okay. I was just looking up at what Captain Nolan said. You liked the video. Yeah, it's the one of do this to make your paintings more painterly. I did a few of them. There's a few exercises, so look them up on my live streams, I think, or maybe in my the videos that are permanently there. There's a few of them, and they're good exercises to stop you getting to going for perfection all the time. Yeah, that was used for Coca-Cola in Ireland. That was for a book, in fact, which is developing characters for these illustrations. More gouache illustrations, oh look, that's a little drawing for that poster that I did for Coca-Cola. Is the image clear enough to you? It seems quite sort of dull on the screen that I'm looking at. Let me have a look at the comments again. Somebody said something else. Miles. Monty Python fish with people faces. That's right. That was the meaning of life, wasn't it? It all kind of goes in, doesn't it? And then it just gets processed and pushed out into other bits of art and everything. There's loads of great fish illustrations. The fish are a great thing. They're a great go-to thing if you can't think of anything to paint. Let's just paint a ridiculous fish, you know, and always very interesting, very surreal. To know in charge of the light brigade. Yeah, those are prints, but I don't think I did those. That may have been my children who did those. Yeah, sometimes I try my hand at cartoons. I started out as a cartoonist, but I kind of I was more interested in the actual the painting than the the speech bubbles. I Know No Woman Who Swallowed a Fly, which is a famous song by Burr Lives, but I just put him as dressed in women's clothes and burlesque guives. Anyway, that was a place in Italy. We holidayed in Italy, and that was in Tuscany somewhere. I just exaggerated the curvature of the hills and things like that. It's a nice little painting, that one. Very simple painting of those whatever they call those trees that they have all over. I call them pencil trees because I'm not a botanist. There's more of them there. What else? Oh my, there's a page of one of my children, my youngest. They're nice. She's very talented, I think. She's only very small there. Another version of the same tree. A kind of a character that looks a little bit... It's a cowboy, isn't it? I don't remember doing him at all. More little paintings. In watercolour this time. I take watercolour, a tiny little watercolour set, away on holiday with me some years. They're nice to use. That's watercolour, and while it was still wet I poured salt onto the paint, and it kind of makes interesting textures in the paint. A head. What else we got here? Oh yeah, there's another silly drawing. I want to draw silly things. Cypress trees, thank you very much. Yeah, cypress trees, they're the ones. My battery's running low, guys, so I've got to be careful. This was a plan for a painting that did actually get made. It didn't look like that quite though, but it was more or less the same colours and the same style, kind of based on religious iconography, but sort of secular, I suppose. All tiny little people figures. I do a lot of drawings like this, just made up faces, and try and sort of take them to a high degree of finish, I suppose, in as much as you can with an ink liner. And there's another one there. And there's another man with a lettuce suit on. What else? Nothing really there. That became a design I did for a T-shirt, because I'm interested in old-fashioned scooters, Vespas and Lambrettas and that thing. So I did this illustration because it went on a black T-shirt. Oh, maybe I've got one of them here, but it's not the same one. But oh no, here, hang on, where am I? It's gone. It's got lost. I did a whole bunch of them. That's one there with this kind of brand I have called Scooterola. There you go. So I like all that kind of thing. I'm going to go and get a couple of t-shirts printed that kind of way.